You see him, taking over.
Oh,
And
that kid. No.
and I mean, you're gonna wait around for the message to come back, or what are you gonna do? Or do you have a place where they're gonna send a message back?
A place where they'll send it. We would have included where we were staying to send the message.
Yeah. When you come back, I mean, okay, let me put it this way: you go to the Sage Tower. Gar, who has access to the library, asks very well in his polite way, in his formal way, whether he can see the censor records. They said yes, as long as they don't leave the building, because they're government records. They keep copies of them. These are not the originals; they keep copies of them. Just in case a fire or something else would destroy them. So he sits down, he finds out, and he finds the address of a house that it's now owned by Vance, former ex-captain of the Greyhawk Navy, blah, blah, blah. So between that information and the messenger, you found your Captain Vance. And he's living in the Duck's Court, near the Temple of the Oathbreaker. Near, but not at the temple. Now, the question is, are you going to visit him, or are you going to wait for him to come to you? How are you going to handle that?
Would it be rude to go visit him? I don't know what the etiquette here is. I'm asking that out loud.
Well, he's retired. I don't know that he has other business he's attending to, right?
Yeah.
So, I would say perhaps go ahead and do such a visit. Bearcat, you could go ahead and handle that, and I'll just be in the library.
All right.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just go to his house.
Okay.
And knock on the door.
All right. And a young woman opens the door. Lucy is like, how can I help you, sir?
Is this the residence of a ex-captain named Vance?
Yes, it is. He will leave the message, perhaps?
Yes, I'm one of the representatives of Baron Kix, who would very much like to meet him. Do you think he would mind if we just came here and came to talk?
Oh, so you were the one to send the message.
Yes.
Gran, here's a fellow with the message. And you hear a voice of a much earlier, like, I'll be right there. And she comes down, and very matronly, has an apron. It's like, oh, do come in. And you come in, and she's like, well, my husband he's going out to the market to buy some things. Would you care to sit? Maybe have a lemonade, something, while you wait?
I'll take a seat.
And they offer you, give you lemonade. It's like, so what forgive me, but what does this Baron want with my husband? And this is the older lady. The younger lady just scurries off to do whatever she's going to do.
Well, we've heard a few good things about him, and feel that he would probably be a good help in getting some connections in the city. The Baron is interested in meeting the mayor and a few other people, and your husband would probably be able to help with that, if he didn't mind. The Marine Quarter and such is very locked down from anybody outside the city.
Oh, right.
Or even
Yes,
some
but
people inside the city.
I think he can. He does visit his friends from time to time there. He does have a pass. Well, you can make the arrangement with him when he comes. And she's, she keeps you company.
Sure,
And about half an hour later, older man in his 60s comes with basically a bag of potatoes and and a couple of bags, tomatoes, potatoes, other vegetables, and tubers. It's like, and he sort of drops. It's like, oh, Martha, it's been a long day. And who you might be, sir? Who are we having a guest?
Hello. My name is Barakat Kai. You can just call me Barakat. That's fine.
Right.
I work with the Baron Kix.
And the woman is like, oh yes, here's the message. Remember the message we get? It's like, oh, and reads it again. Oh, so this Baron fellow wants to see me.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's currently at the library right now.
Oh, I see. Well, there with the sages up there north, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I mean, if you'd like, I can bring him here, or you can come to him.
Well, we're welcome in my house.
We of course wouldn't want to intrude on your dinner or anything.
Oh no.
Lunch.
We'll make sure
whatever
we're
time it is right
take
now.
care of it. It's about midday.
Okay.
So well, if he's coming for dinner, then more the merrier. Set up everything for them. Sure that so everything fine. We'll be fine. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. He wants to get to know some people in the city. You're a fairly popular captain, or I guess ex-captain now.
No, Alicia. Used to
He
man one of the warships here.
Yeah.
She was indefatigable. Proud ship she was. I remember we battled the Yellow Sails. Those were the days. You can do a history check
Okay.
on Yellow Sails when he mentions that. He mentions it like so everybody knows. Yeah, have no idea what that is.
I'm
Yeah.
not from around here.
No, you're not. But the way he says is like everybody should know. Like, and apparently his wife's like, "Dear, don't bore him with your old stories. I'm sure they're interested." Like,
It's all right.
but
I don't mind.
so basically, he agrees to host you for dinner, so you can explain, why is it that you're looking for him, and have dinner that evening.
All right. Well, I will shake his hand or whatever.
Yeah.
Bid him goodbye very respectfully, and come get kicks.
Yeah, as you come in, Kix and Gar, and outside they're waiting. The battalion of soldiers are becoming a bigger army by the day, by the hour. Are waiting outside, and they're coming out unless Gar has something else to do in here.
Right. I guess we should beat our investigation wins.
If we had time at the library and if Hugh could get in, he would probably look up information on unicorns.
Okay.
Now that he knows what they're actually called.
You can roll an investigation.
Probably gonna be bad.
No, you actually
17.
You actually find a book on unicorns.
Wow.
With illustrations.
Even better.
And it's beautiful illuminated manuscript. And essentially they're described as mystical creatures who live deep in the forest. They are strongly associated with the Lona. In fact, she said to ride one particular celestial version of it. That's her favorite animal. Their horns are supposed to be magical, both as a weapon used by the unicorn, and also, and this is something that is said, it is a crime in most societies to harm you, particularly to harvest their horns. But apparently, the horn has mystical properties. Some claim some healing properties, all the way to bringing back people from the dead. And particularly elves are fond of unicorns. And if anybody's caught hunting a unicorn, the elves in the forest in which the unicorn is hunted will follow the person to the ends of the earth to finish him. Um, no, I mean the reason that is you don't need a roll is because it just took you a lot of time, and if you ask the right questions, it took you most of the day. It's just census data. It's a lot of information, but it's not obscure or anything like that. And and you usually even got help from people because you have preferred treatments. Yeah. So there's that.
Okay. So
Vance
very
is
good.
going to hopefully get us into the Marines' quarters to get to him directly.
Mhm.
How's
Yeah,
that gonna
so
work? Do we
I
gotta
come
like?
back. Well, hopefully he can just get us in
So did he
with
already agree,
set up
or
some friends.
we have to meet somewhere? What's the
Yeah, step 10.
what's?
Yeah, so he seems like a pretty good guy. Very nice.
Mhm.
Essentially he is offering to host us for dinner. At least you, probably me. I don't know about everyone else, but he said the more the merrier, so it seems fine.
I believe our immediate party would be fine.
Yeah,
Gar, how do you feel about dinner?
Does he have water?
probably.
I think there was going to be a light rain today.
I think it'll be okay.
Such as all the sustenance he needs. 19 of your closest friends, yes.
Well,
Yeah, I
Gar can
think
go handle his business.
the army probably isn't needed, you know.
showing up with a small
But the
cadre
army
of
goes
forces.
where he goes.
Yeah, I think they wouldn't allow you to have that many people. That would be a breach of.
But Yumi, Hugh, Lael, and if Gar wants to come, he can.
Mhm.
Just not with his army. He'll have to put that in the barn for a little bit.
Is there anywhere that we've seen that sells pastries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to get pastries for dessert, so I don't show up empty-handed. I want to get a big old container of them, so people have to guide me when I'm walking, and I want to show up with my face covered by a container of pastries.
They give you a
What if the
box.
little halfling pulls away box? Oh, it's a kobold.
You get a box of donuts.
He's bringing dessert.
Yep. So I guess dinner tonight then.
Yep. And I can cover him for whatever we eat, so it's fine.
Mhm.
He may not accept being covered. If he invited you as a guest to dinner,
Yeah, I'm aware.
that may be offensive. Either way, dinner. This will be fun.
Yes, dinner.
So you arrive, and it basically the family is Vance, his wife, and their grandchild.
How old's the grandchild?
She's probably about 15, most.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. And they it's a dinner. I mean, it's not something. It's mostly a lot of fish because
Mhm.
you're in a port facility.
Of course.
And yeah, and they talk, and Vance talks about his time at sea. He talks about the yellow sails, which was sort of his big moment in the past. Anybody can do a history check who was in the party.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Not
What does Kix know about this one?
Absolutely.
Hey, I read about that one.
Hugh's favorite people on this world are old people that talk way too much.
But clearly not this one.
Oh, he just
Yeah.
doesn't know anything about the yellow sails.
That doesn't make
Yeah.
him not interested.
Yeah.
Kix, you do know that this basically about 20 years ago, close to 30 years ago, probably starting before the Greyhawk Wars and enduring and even after, there have been waves of what's called the Yellow Sails. The Yellow Sails basically are slavers who have raided the shores of Woolly Bay, and were feared, right, with connections to the Pomard. Sometimes they're humans, and sometimes they're orcish, but the ships are known for the yellow sails. And according to the stories that Vance is telling, he had multiple battles by himself and with other ships against these yellow sails, right? Liberating slaves, sinking ships, doing boarding actions, the work, right? Alongside, the hardby Marines and adventurers and stuff like that. Mercenaries. He doesn't say adventurers, it's mercenaries. So, and he describes battles with spells and even, sahwaging, which you don't know what those are called, fishmen, climbing the side of ships, I mean, this guy has lived a long, adventurous, and he rose into ranks at the Greyhawk Navy up to getting to the rank of captain, in which case he retired. And now he's about 60 or some years old. So, he was very young when it started. And at some point, what are you proposing to him? What is it that you want now that you have him here?
Yeah, good question. Considering that we have another way in already, but I guess I'll go ahead and ask him, or at least I'll start by explaining. Well, I suppose to explain my own business, I've come to this city because I'm looking for people who might be willing to immigrate back to my own lands and assist us with the defense, and perhaps other things, or simply settle. Really, it'd be nice to bring more civilization there, and that's why I'm here. But of course, I don't merely wish to come here and take the city's people. I want to speak with the mayor, and of course, gain his blessing and permission to do so. Otherwise, it would be untoward. I know that you were a popular captain for some time, and I was hoping perhaps you could do an introduction of some kind. Or at the very least, I understand that you require a pass to get into the Marine Corps in the first place, even.
Well, I do visit friends from time to time. I still have my pass as a veteran. It's one of the privileges that I have. However, I can't say I know the mayor personally.
If you seem
But
to.
well, he is a very private. And when he takes a breath, and so his wife goes, taps him on the shoulders, like he has a very, shall we say, dark reputation.
It's quite the interesting name at the very least. I think I could put my imagination to use on that one.
He is known for his absolute hatred of the orcs and their ilk.
I knew someone like that once.
There's even rumors that from time to time he sneaks out of town and goes into killing sprees in the south. How true are those? Are mostly fanciful tales. I always found there's always a grain of truth.
I want to insight check that. He says rumors. I want to see if he might know more than just the fact that there's rumors about it.
Do an insight.
Ooh.
No idea. I love his stories. I trust him.
Yeah. Like Ray. So yeah, he says, well, I suppose I could help you get in if you're going to visit, but I'm afraid I can't get you to the mayor unless you already have a previous message or missive.
We've made some attempts in that way. I think perhaps in a couple of days it might be possible to follow through at the least.
Yeah.
And when the time comes, if you're willing to assist, I could come to you and we can go together.
Yep. Yeah. And the night passes and he continues telling stories, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, you do get a message from a priest over the church, and they say that yes, they made arrangements for you to meet with someone in the Torin household.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your pass, and you can meet with Torin. Now, once you're in there, and again, because it's a heavily fortified guard, I'm sorry to say that because it's a heavily fortified area, they're not going to allow you to come with all your bodyguards. That's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, they allow you to walk around the city, but this is sort of the heart of their defense. Just not. It's good.
300
I have a question. At dinner, or before he left, he would have asked the retired captain if he liked fishing.
He says yes.
In that case, for the rest of his time here, if amenable, every morning he would like to go fishing with this retired gentleman and whoever else ends up showing up.
He does have a little fishing boat. Make a persuasion check.
Absolutely.
Because anything about him, when you say he likes fishing, the wife gives you a look.
Okay, here we go. 19.
He says, "Yes, I would." And she doesn't look at you. She looks at him like, "Don't you dare!" Right? But he just ignores her and is like, "Sure, I have a smoke. We can go fishing. Not too far outside the bay because the waters out there are treacherous, but I know a few spots up the coast."
That is beautiful. I have my own supplies. I have 2 sets, in fact. Someone is now in the doghouse, but they will get to enjoy fishing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Free man's dilemma.
Yep. So because of this, this being a smaller city, he was just going to spend time trying to make friends instead of business, unless he is asked from this point on.
Okay.
Mhm.
So next day you have your pass, you have your invites, but remember that your target is Garvog.
Yeah.
Remember that you're supposed to either, ideally lure him out of the marine quarters so he can talk to the moneylender that you made contact with. But whether that happens or not, I leave that entirely up to you. Right? You have your own reasons to
We
talk
have
to
our own
Garvog.
agenda.
Yeah, exactly. I'll talk to Garvog.
So we did have this plan already discussed. Kix is going to go to the manor. He's the one representing everyone. He's going, of course, with our new friend and captain. And that's going to be a fun time. And you guys get to disappear and do what you want. And I'll never know.
What do we actually want to do with him?
He's on the boat fishing cobalt. Comes back like 12 hours later.
I mean, he basically what he does, very early in the morning, he's carrying his gear. He actually we're gonna go in. Then, I mean, he could take his boat around, right? Because the water, there's no wall between the 2 sections of the water. Of course, once he makes landfall, you would have to talk. A marine. Probably people asking, "What are you doing here?" It's like, "Oh, here's my pass." So, yeah. In fact, he can do it. He can do it. Everybody can get into a small boat, and he goes to the wharf, right? But he also have to give his pass as well because just because he's doing through the water, it's like, "Oh, never mind. Don't mind the pass."
Yeah.
So, and then once he lifts, he drops you off, and turns around and goes fishing with his now kobold friend and another group of people. Like there are 4 or 5 people. They're not too far away, but they go fishing. They do make sure to come south again. They don't stay in this area. They go back in this area, right? They're not going to press their luck.
Yeah.
Right. Just wait until the Coast Guard rolls up on them. All right.
You wouldn't fish next to a cop.
You wouldn't download a fish.
So you're in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yup.
So what do we actually want to do with the Garvog guy? Do we want to bring him out, or do we want to just talk to him, or what?
That's all on you. And
Well, I
Kix is
mean,
going
it's
to his
kind of
meeting.
on Gar, considering this is his thing.
Yeah, so we have Gar, Bearcat, and Lael.
No, is Gar there? That's the
Yeah.
question.
Well, can't you like leave them somewhere for a few hours? And not not the whole day.
Alright, now comes the phase of convincing Gar.
Yeah, like Gar is there. He has to be within a certain range.
Unleash 16 undead upon the city. In fact, even upon our host. He's a responsible necromancer.
I thought it said reasonable at first, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
He is a
I agree with
reasonable
that.
Reasonsponsible.
Okay, but
I'm reason. I'm not responsible.
you're the one with the information of this investigation, and the one who is supposed to be investigating.
Well, he can easily give his information, and then you guys can
Yeah.
act upon it.
Most of what I know is that he had a ship that didn't make it here, and I don't know what relation that has to the whole thing. British wiles on these guards.
I.e., he wants you to try tricking the guards into letting all of his soldiers in.
That's
I don't think that's gonna happen either way.
yeah. I mean, that's a very, very tough.
I could try and get him out of the Marine Quarter, but not to the guy and just to you.
That does sound like actually the play.
Yeah, that to Gar to like
Garvog.
do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garvog
Give
get out
Garvog
to
out.
Gar.
I'm sure this won't get confusing in the future either.
Yeah.
Nothing bad could happen about this communication.
Okay. Don't know if we're still talking about turns.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Garvog. He's the real piece of information here. I mean,
I gotta reload low 20 because it's
Yeah.
it
It's all
crashed
good.
out. Just a little bit, but yeah. So either you ask whatever questions information you want to get out of Garvik inside the quarter, or you find some way to take him out. You know, remember that he also is a member,
of what?
active duty member.
Yeah.
So as far as you know.
I mean, it's not like we can like intimidate him really.
What? Okay, didn't know we were still talking about turns. Yeah, try to lead the mind off your strap. Okay. So let's start with Kix. Kix, you're invited
Okay.
to go to. While you guys are thinking your approach to this, we'll continue with Kix. Yeah, you're invited in. Who's going with you? Are you going alone?
Well, we have the captain here if he's invited to come with because I think he was getting a. Wait, no, he went back sailing. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of alone on this because Gar doesn't want to go anywhere with the skeletons. Hugh is out fishing, and Bearcat and Lel are off doing an actual mission.
Okay.
Clarification.
Uh-huh.
Gar can't go anywhere without the skeletons, because if he leaves them, they're not under his control.
Right.
Ah.
No, he can. He's choosing not to.
I believe as long as he maintains them every 24 hours, he
Right.
can leave them.
Yeah, and Gar
I don't
confirms
think
it.
there's like a radius minimum. just that he's there.
Okay.
Lock
yeah,
him in the
Kicks is-
barn and then come back in 24 hours? I don't know.
But yeah, Kicks is going.
I mean, I guess he could just tell me everything he wants to know, and I can ask those questions inside.
That could work
Have
too.
the owl whispers in your ear. James Colwold is going. Yeah.
Speak with animals, yeah.
All right. But yeah, Kicks is on his mission alone.
Okay, so yeah, you presented again. The person who receives you is yeah, he says
Is who? I'm sorry, that got cut out.
the mayor domo.
The Major Domo. Okay.
And he says, "My lord, I'm afraid Master Dusttalk is busy at the moment, as you probably understand. But I've received your missive that you wish to secure some of the serfs to have permission for them to leave their lands if they wish and join you to the west. Is that correct?"
Yes, that would be so. I see you received it well and clear.
Mm-hmm. And he invites you to a study, and you sit, and you start discussing the how many people you think you can carry and all that. He asks very poignant questions about your defenses, your position.
Mhm.
This guy knows his stuff.
Yeah.
He's not just the butler. He knows what he's talking about, right? And he says, how close you are. You're either at or in the war zone, etc. That in fact it was.
Yeah, we roll up the map, I point to it, and it's like, oh, that's where the text war zone is, huh? Hmm.
Yeah. And okay, sorry, I'm American. Garbo knew the location of Griffin's Crest, right? I need to recirculate. Okay. Garbo was waiting for the Griffin's Crest. In fact, the money that he lended was part of paying for the Griffin's Crest to, bring cargo to Safeguard. But the ship hasn't arrived. That's one reason why the money wants to bring him out, because, the idea was that he lended money, the crest would arrive at Safeton, deliver its cargo, they would sell it, and that he was able to pay back the moneylender. But since the ship hasn't arrived, and he was the connection to that, he was the person receiving the missives from Okaro, from Greyhawk, because Okaro was pressing Garvok on the idea that what happened to the crest? What happened to the crest? So you were told, hey, why don't you investigate this guy, because this guy is connections to the Evan Triad, right? While there's an investigation still going on in Greyhawk and other areas, and of course, your aspects of the Evan Triad, what you're interested in them, and now it's coming from. That was a person on the ship that Garvog was told to welcome to Safeton. And Balbashawk is you don't know who they are, but it is clearly an old Sewell name. Like, clearly he's not from this area. You do know that across the bay to the south is the Scarlet Brotherhood. And there are a lot of Scarlet Brotherhood ships ply these waters as raiders, pirates, and commerce, especially with the Pomarch. Trade with the Pomarch and raiders and pirates everywhere else. And the Scarlet Brotherhood, and also Barakat knows this, they're pure Sewell, claim to be. So that might be a connection there as well. Do you tell all that to Barakat, or do you keep any of that information, sequestered or limited? The letters doesn't say, but it does say it comes from the south. And the lands of the south have to be the Pomarch. Probably Highport, which is the biggest port down the south. And Highport is known. Okay. No, sorry about that. But you don't know. So yeah, the
Right.
questions would be Barakat should ask us like Griffin origin, last known location, etc., etc.
There we go. Now we know. Now we're all caught up.
Okay.
Sometimes machinations lie undetected.
And you made a promise that because that ship was probably coming from the south, it might have treasure that the rest of the party could use. Yeah. If they could liberate it. After all, it has to have some kind of cargo and not just people, unless the people were very important people to pay a lot of money just to be carried out across the bay.
Monks sneaking to the library.
So now that you know that, Bearcat, what? And you're here, and once you're in the Marine quarter, I mean, security here is pretty tight, and all the soldiers here are by Marines with some militia as well. But you know, this is all people actually live here, right? All this, you know, there's shops and temples and all things that serve mostly the hardby Marines. So there's plenty of civilians as well. So you know, it's not like it's not like a military base, right? That we walk into a Fort Erdwing or something. It's everybody in uniform. Even in major military bases in the United States, there's civilian areas like you know cafeterias and even you know offices for federal buildings and the like, depending on situation. Because I've been in a lot of federal reservations, and they're not all exclusively military. But this case, you know, a lot of this stuff is, you know, mostly military, but there's plenty of civilians around, so you don't stick out too much. As a civilian, I should say. So what's your plan?
Okay. Well, it seems like not a great idea to go the illegal route. So I think we should just go there and try and talk to him, like
Okay.
normal people.
If you want, I'll follow you in.
So where you're heading?
So we're gonna just go to his house right now.
Okay. You do know where his house is because the moneylender knows where. He actually does. He doesn't live in the barracks. He has his own house because he's been, you know, he's a veteran of the Marines. It's a small house, right? And you knock on the door, but nobody answers. It's daytime, so you know it could be anywhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah. Are there windows
Yes.
that could just be looked through?
Yeah.
How's the inside look?
It's a one-room house, kitchen, dining table, dining area, bedroom. Right. There's a door curtain that covers the area of the bedroom, but that's about it. You know, it's a bachelor pad, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to search the house at all or no?
Seems unnecessary. Uh, so if he's not here, did you say he was active service? He could be like on duty somewhere, but we could also just ask some local people if they know where he is.
Sure.
I mean, we're not like trying to hurt him or anything, you know. Also we have the owl with us. Yeah, I guess we should just ask some people,
Okay.
some of the guards or something, or Yeah, someone who he might work with, and see if they know where he is today.
I mean, you see in this street where he lives, there's several shops, eateries. There's an apothecary, stuff like that. So the places he could go into, right, in and out of his house. And of course, you know that there's a Marine barracks to the north, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I guess we should start with the immediate area,
mhm.
some of the shops and stuff. Let's split up and just come back here in like 10 minutes, or however long it takes.
Okay.
Okay.
So each of us will look around the immediate place and ask around if anyone has seen him today.
Yeah, you dug into a seamstress basically that lives like 2 streets away, and basically her business is sort of the front of her shop. Like it has an awning that covers and gives shade, and she's working right in front of her house. Her and a couple other people. She has a loom and everything else. And it's like, oh, dearie, are you lost?
Well, I'm looking for someone right now. A man that goes by the name of Garvog, I believe.
Oh, the sergeant.
Lives around here.
Oh, he lives down the street, but he must be the Marine keeper now on duty. You know.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know where he works or anything. And he wasn't home, so
Oh, anything? A message for him? Perhaps you want to leave?
I'm sure I can find him myself. If he's probably just at the keep, yeah.
Mhm. That's a lot of soldiers there. I just be careful. They can be a rough and tumble bunch.
That's understandable. Thank you.
Mm.
Yep.
And I'll meet back up. And I guess we go to the keep next.
Leo is, like,
Leo, while when you split up, are you gonna do
Yeah.
anything or just walk around? Or are you gonna?
I could like ask people to see if we can find the guy, but like I'm not
Same
super
deal.
quick for it. So,
Mhm.
like, do you want me to like roll anything or just?
I mean, basically, you get the same information. The people around here are relatively friendly. They apparently, with so many guards around, very secure, so they don't, they don't pursue people who are gonna out there.
Alrighty, well then we know where he is. Do you wish to try over there or no?
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, he probably is on shift for like the whole day or half the day or something.
Yes, we can look.
Yeah. So I guess we go to the Marine barracks / keep.
Yeah, this place is heavily guarded, as expected. In fact, there are guardhouses here, so and there's a guardhouses with a door basically. So in order up the stairs, and there's several guards there, and it's like, sir, this is restricted area. What can we do for you?
We're looking for a sergeant. His name is Garvog, I think.
What for?
Uh, well, we have some important questions to ask him about a investigation that is currently ongoing.
If you have a message, leave it here. We'll have it delivered to the sergeant.
Do we have a missive or no?
Uh, well, it doesn't seem like we're gonna be able to get to him while on duty if they have all these dudes.
I
You
mean, okay.
could,
Imagine
but
that you are on base and you just, unless you're somebody
Yeah, I
who
mean,
come to a barrack, go like, "Hey, I just want to talk to that." No,
well,
that's not.
would you mind just telling him that uh that we're looking to ask him some questions later today?
And you
You know,
also,
my name is Bearcat. I am associated with a Baron Kix. He's currently in a meeting right now.
I see. Very
Yeah,
well, we'll pass. We'll pass. Any place in particular you want to meet him?
Well, if he doesn't mind, we can just come to his house or something, or if he has a restaurant that he likes, or I don't know him personally, so
There are several places you could suggest, and you did want to set up an ambush
Yeah.
for him.
Like perhaps a place that is outside of the Marine Quarter
Yeah,
would be more.
so do we know any decent places in like the Freeman's Quarters or something, like an inn or a restaurant that we could go to?
Know about the hole in the wall?
Not that one. Something like medium high class.
I can help you there.
No.
I guess I'll ask them. Well, does he have a place that he likes to eat or something that we could go to?
He crosses his hand off, so like he looks at you. He doesn't get a read on you. It's like, I don't know. You have to ask him though. But he crosses his arm, and he clearly is annoyed, but palpable, right? It's like, he told you to give him a message. He just sort of
In
seems
that
to be
case,
waffling.
just
Yeah.
just tell him that we'll meet him by his house when he's done with whatever shift system you guys have.
Right. Will do.
Yeah.
Good day, sir.
Thank you. And I will walk away and start heading west.
Okay. Yeah.
I whispered to Barakat, "Are you all right?"
Yes.
All right. Well, you seem a little flustered today.
No, I'm just trying not to do things in an incorrect way.
That's
For
how you
this
learn, though.
situation. But it's important that we don't do things wrong today.
So, okay, you deliver the message.
Yeah.
Let's say, what are you going to do now? Kicks afternoon's coming in after a long conversation. He says, yeah, we'll send some paperwork to you, right? To see, so you can have permission. So he basically says, roll a 1d3, a 1d3.
Okay. I'll roll the d6. We'll do it by half. And one day.
Yeah, you have permission to get at least one family if you can convince them to join you.
Wow.
Ooh,
Not a lot. I mean,
not a lot.
they don't, they do need the food and working place and all that. So, yeah, you want to get, I mean, remember, this is the entire family, not just an individual.
Right.
Yeah.
I know I could roll a d3, but I have to
And-
type it.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's a situation where this is a town that is in the front line, so everybody's important, or almost everybody. The civilians are
Ultimately,
important.
they're in a similar situation to us.
Yeah, and it's not that he's gonna sound. And also, the thing is that if dozens, hundreds of people leave all at once, that doesn't look good on him, right?
Right.
I was like, oh, why are people just leaving the city all of a sudden, right? Medieval lords also tax their own people, so having them leave, it's in large numbers is
Of course.
it causes all kinds of trouble, basically.
Perhaps I could come back for another family, another season then. when it doesn't look when it won't reflect poorly upon anyone here.
Makes perfect sense. I wish you luck.
Of course, and it's been such a pleasure doing business with you.
Mhm.
Ah.
Now, Barricat and Leo. You'll love Kicks in season 2. What are you gonna do? What's your plans now? You're in the city. The pass should end by nightfall. You could stay, but I mean, not like guards would just assault you, but past nightfall, somebody could stop you and go like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And you don't have the proper documentation, right? Essentially, it's a day pass.
Well, while there's still daylight, Lael, could you
Yes.
go and update the kicks on our situation that we're gonna meet the guy outside his house? Once
Oh,
he gets
sure.
back?
That's not a problem at all. And I'll go find Kix real quick and tell him everything.
Right, and Kix probably is himself on his way out of the Marine Quarter right now because he's done his business, and he gets the message and goes, "All right, good. And how do you feel about your chances of success here? Do you think this will go down according to plan?"
Oh, no, not at all. But
Oh,
let's make the best of it.
Now, Barricat, I need you to know, while you send Leo away, where are you exact?
I am going to the pavilion of the songstress.
Okay. Well, you walk into the pavilion. Is a large establishment, a theater, not as large as a theater in Greyhawk, but still a relatively large theater. And there are all kinds of entertainers and people coming in and out. And it's a theater slash bars. Think of it like the way I would describe it would be like medieval times, right? But instead of actually, yeah, pretending, they even have people who are pretending to be fighting and all that, and so their shows something else. It is literally medieval times, except without electronic equipment like announcers and and microphones and that sort of thing. But people are reenacting battles and stuff. In fact, when you walk in, the show they're showing right now, it's the Battle of Emery Meadow. You can make a history check on that. It's pretty easy. So, yeah, that's a famous battle that happened about 40, 50 years ago against the forces of the Temple of Elemental Evil out west. And it's a very a lot of forces from the nations of good there fought, and you have like there is on one side they have like a dummy they dressed up like a ogre, like a big ogre or troll, like trying to smash down on someone, and you have a knight fighting with a guy dressed up like painted green with tusk as an orc, and all kind of stuff, like, and people are celebrating and all that, and between those things are musical numbers as well, right? Oh, yeah, but
it's
I mean,
a Renaissance fair.
yeah, it's a Renaissance fair. Yeah, but this is recreation. I said the setup, right?
Yeah.
Right. A fair usually it's outdoors, but this is indoor in a sort of a very large circus tent, golf tent. So yeah, they're doing all that. People are coming in and out. People are serving food. People are eating, not turkey legs, but like lamb and other, a lot of meat and stuff like that, and drinking and what have you. So you're there. What are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get in contact with Marava Atesh.
Okay.
The that's the person who runs it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and get talk to her and throw around the name Ikram Amal a bit.
Okay. This would be a persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay.
Yes. Okay. You're invited into an extension of the building, which is attached to the tent.
which will become a
wait.
15, I guess.
Yeah, which is her office. You come in, it's a older lady. She's raven hair but has streaks of white, and she's sitting behind her desk, and she has all kinds of paperwork and stuff like that. And you can see pouches of you see like a small scales. And I'm looking at the time right now, so
Yeah, there's
we're
not
gonna
much.
I was
leave.
just about to put a
Yeah.
message in the
We're
chat.
gonna leave it, and her
Cliffhanger.
writing up from around the desk, extending her hand is like, so the student arrives. We're gonna leave it there.
Dun dun dun. Oh, good cliffhanger.
Banger. Let's go.
Yeah. So let's start reverse, shall we? The outros start with Lael. Lael, your character.
Okay. Lael the monk. I just lost my sheet. Give me like a second. There it is. Lael the monk. He is contemplative yet jovial. He seeks balance within himself and enlightenment which eludes him, and he harbors vengeance in his heart that he struggles to control. Hasn't come up yet, but it will soon.
Yeah. Next up, we have our Dranger,
Ranger.
Absolutely.
Hugh.
Or the Ruid, if you
Or
want
the
to look at it.
Ruin.
that way.
Yeah.
Oh, is it this
Bringing
point?
it back. Yes, I'm playing Hugh, the Arrow of Alona. He is a kobold druid ranger. Fairness and equality and love in nature. And I myself am Justin, the DM of a lovely game going on over at a channel known as One Battle Roll. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. EST, as well as being found here Sunday nights in this game, and Monday in the afternoon for Wicked Ones.
Next up, we have Barakat.
I'm Pandora, and I'm playing Barakat, the Tiefling Bard. He thinks flattery is the best way to direct attention away from him. He likes seeing the smiles on people's faces when he performs. His instrument is his most treasured possession. It was crafted by his father. And he's struggling to maintain a secret identity. And he's also the student of a man named Ikram Amal, who's a famous bard himself. And will hopefully get something on that soon.
Next up, we have Kix and Gar. Let's start with Kix first.
Yep. Today I played Baron Kicks the Shield. He's cool and calculating. He believes a hero stands up against all challenges. Those under his command and responsibility come first, and he has immense ego and delusions of grandeur. Whereas Gar is the total necromancer. He likes nothing more than a good mystery. He believes in self-improvement. The goal of a life of study is the betterment of oneself. He once sold his soul for knowledge and hopes to get it back with great deeds. And unlocking an ancient mystery is worth the price of a civilization.
And I'm Lesson Learned. I'm running streams every day and in the evenings at 8 o'clock Eastern and 7 o'clock Eastern, respectively. Still playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We are coming down the barrel with the ending of the trilogy with Citadel DLC and Omega DLC, as well as the ending of the series. And I'm also working on a little something extra for YouTube based on the Mass Effect series. So you should have the intro real soon for that. So if you want to join me, and of course I'm the DM here every Sunday at Eastern Sundays for Greyhawk Into the Wild Coast. And we finally made to the Wild Coast.
Yeah.
Finally.
All right. And
So-
I'm Griffin. This is Theta. We run the stream. Come back every 8 p.m. 8 a.m. EST Sundays and Wednesdays. Come see us play a whole bunch of games. And thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for running, and thank you for playing. So, see you all next time.
Bye.
See you later.
See you next time.